So it's been about a month since Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was released. I'm about halfway through the game. I'm past the Frieza saga, and I just started the Android saga. Technically, I'm in that phase where you're in between and you get to free roam and stuff like that. I'm there. But I'm almost halfway through the game, I would assume. And I thought this would be a great point, a great start to start my first impressions on this video game, because I did do a video game analysis about this game. It was one of those games that I looked at initially and I was like, maybe this could be something interesting, maybe it couldn't be, I don't really know. When I first saw the gameplay for it, I was like, I don't really know, maybe not. But I saw recently, in fact, I saw a little bit over a month ago, a new hour's worth of gameplay. It was with Vegeta, I think in between the Cell games and the Android series, and I saw the gameplay for it, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed what I saw, and I gave it a chance, and I bought it, and you know what? I'm pretty happy with it. It's not for everyone. It's definitely not for people who don't know anything about the Dragon Ball Z series, but it's pretty faithful. I'm watching a lot of the combat on the game right now. By the way, that little black box at the bottom left of the screen, I fucking hate that. Some of the Japanese companies, they do that whenever you use the the PlayStation capture, like the share button. Whenever you capture gameplay with the share button, some companies, they take your gameplay and they put a copyrighted stamp over it. It's obnoxious. I don't know why they do that. It makes the gameplay pretty much useless. So, going back to the gameplay, I saw a lot of it. I played a lot of it. I'm pretty satisfied with the gameplay. I wish there was a little bit more depth to it than just, you know, your basic 5 or 6 hit combo and then it resets and then you knock people away. But really, that's not why you come here for the game. You don't necessarily come here for the fighting, because there's it's very minimal, if I'm honest with you. You come here for the moments. And that's what Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has a lot of, and that's probably one of the best things in the game, is the fantastic moments, the super finishes that you can have within the game, the moments where Goku turns into a Super Saiyan for the first time and fights Frieza. That's probably one of the best moments that I'll probably ever see. Maybe besides Gohan fighting Cell, the big bombastic Dragon Ball Z moments where Goku and Frieza, they power up and they're fighting, and even the Vegeta versus the Goku fight as well, where you can see Vegeta get blown away by Goku's Kamehameha and seeing his Gallic Gun versus the iconic, like, all of these moments are great moments and they're iconic, and sometimes they have this like blend of 3D animation and the hand-drawn animation that you see within the manga. So, and even the anime as well. So it's these very iconic moments, but they look familiar, but at the same time not really. And they do a great job of portraying these characters the same way. It's helped, obviously, by the voice actors, the original voice actors, for the most part, who reprise all of their roles. Vegeta sounds the same, Goku sounds the same, Gohan, depending on when and where you listen to Gohan, whether in the original animation or Dragon Ball Z Kai, he sounds the exact same, at least when he's a teenager / kid. But everything looks and feels a lot like Dragon Ball Z. But again, if you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, you'll be lost. You won't understand what's going on. You won't understand what's, you know, who Frieza is and why Goku is on, because all of it is expected. All of this information you are expected to know. You're supposed to know who Goku is. You're supposed to know who Frieza is. You're supposed to know all of this information. And some of the best scenes in the show, they're kind of, you know, they're just narrated sometimes. They're hidden in these text boxes that you kind of just skip through. And, you know, these are sometimes full episodes worth of content that's just written out for a couple of scenes. And, you know, obviously that's because of the production. That's because of, you know, some of the things that they had to cut out. The moments are still there. The gameplay sometimes, I will say this, the gameplay sometimes looks a lot like the Dragon Ball Z series. Here's some gameplay. I don't know where it is. I don't know who I'm fighting. It looks straight out of the TV show. It looks like you're fighting Frieza from the TV show, and it looks like a scene straight out of the TV show and the manga, and it looks great. It's just, I would prefer it maybe, and there's a lot of companies that haven't hit this 3D style of combat. There's a lot of great 2D games, like Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z is a great example of a Dragon Ball Z fighting game done right, but for the most part, they haven't hit the nail on the head with these 3D types of games. They have gimmicks to them. They don't necessarily feel like a traditional 2D fighting game, and that's fine, but they don't feel great. They don't have that combo style that you can chain together combos sometimes. But for the most part, the game is there. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you'll love the game. If you aren't, probably skip this one. It's very, very tuned and targeted for Dragon Ball Z fans. But if you are one, I think this is probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z games. But it's probably not. This is difficult for me because it's hard for me to look at this game objectively and be like, this is a great game, because there's some issues, some glaring issues with the game. But at the same time, I'm such a fucking huge Dragon Ball Z fan, I can't ignore how much great stuff is in this game when it comes to Dragon Ball Z fans. So again, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, buy it. If you're not, skip it. Skip it like the Black Plague. You won't get anything. If you think this is gonna be a great introduction into the Dragon Ball Z universe, you'll be sorely mistaken. Buy the manga, buy the anime. It's so cheap. Or buy like a Hulu subscription. You can watch this show literally anywhere, or you can probably watch it on the internet. But I can't wait for whatever comes next, for anything that involves whoever created this game. I think it's Bandai, Namco, or whoever is on the black bar on the bottom of my screen that absolutely took away from the immersion of the gameplay that I took so long to capture. Whoever made this game, thank you for putting that black bar in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and also thank you for making the game in a non-sarcastic or ironic sense. I really enjoyed the first half of it. Can't wait for the second half, but hopefully they do something with Super. Hopefully they do something in the future. Hopefully they add on some DLC with some of the movies, free DLC. I will not pay for any of the paid DLC. Well, that's a lie. I'll probably pay for some Broly or some King Cooler. I don't know. But that's the video. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. Until my next video, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.